Chosen one, this is about your salary. And it's important that you understand what is happening behind the scenes. There is a divine movement surrounding your income, your work, your financial stability, and the way you are supported. What you are about to experience is not simply the result of effort or skill. It is the outcome of timing, repositioning, elevation, and spiritual orchestration. You are entering a chapter where shifts in your financial life are not random. They are not accidental. They are not coincidental. They are deliberate movements initiated by divine intention. Your income, your opportunities, your increase, these things are stepping into alignment with the path God has been preparing for you quietly, patiently, intentionally. Before we go deeper, chosen one, stay until the end of this message, because the clarity you receive will shift the way you understand what is coming toward you. And write your warmest wishes and 144 in the comments. This is a chapter of wishes materializing, alignment strengthening, and the universe responding to the vibration of your spirit. Now let us continue, because what is happening with your salary is far more spiritual than it appears. Now, chosen one, press the hype button, like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's start. Chosen one, something in you has changed. Your relationship with work has changed. Your understanding of your worth has changed. The way you approach your responsibilities has evolved. You are no longer operating from the place you once did. There was a time when you doubted your value, when you questioned whether you deserved increase, when you accepted less than you were worth because you didn't have the energy, confidence, or spiritual clarity to challenge the limitations placed on you. But that version of you has been dissolving slowly, gently, inwardly. And now the effects of that transformation are beginning to manifest externally. This shift is not small. It is not subtle. It is not temporary. It is foundational. It is connected to your identity, your growth, your healing, and your alignment. You have come to a point where you can no longer remain in environments that undervalue you. You can no longer tolerate positions that drain you spiritually while feeding others. You can no longer accept compensation that fails to reflect your contribution. You have reached a higher level of clarity that allows you to see the truth. You were created to expand, not remain confined, to rise, not remain stagnant, to be recognized, not overlooked, to be valued, not minimized. Chosen one, the spiritual realm reacts to inner clarity. When you finally understand your worth, the universe rearranges itself to match that understanding. When your spirit stops shrinking, divine timing accelerates. When you stop accepting less, life stops offering less. What is happening right now with your salary is the result of an internal shift that has been building for months, maybe even years. You are stepping into a timeline where your work no longer goes unnoticed. Your abilities no longer go overlooked, and your financial life no longer remains stuck in cycles that do not belong to your destiny. There is something powerful about the way you have been showing up, despite the challenges you faced. You worked through stress, through uncertainty, through transitions, through emotional seasons that would have caused many to collapse. You held responsibilities even while carrying silent burdens. This strength did not go unseen. You may think no one noticed the nights you pushed yourself, the moments you motivated yourself, the days you handled everything when you should have had help. But the divine saw it all. And now, compensation is aligning with contribution. Chosen one, you are entering a season where the things that once blocked you, fear, confusion, stagnation, lack of recognition, are losing their influence over your path. You are gaining clarity in areas where you once felt powerless. You are gaining confidence in areas where you once felt unsure. You are gaining boldness in areas where you once felt silent. And these inner shifts are triggering outer changes that will reflect themselves in your income, your opportunities, and your overall financial landscape. One of the biggest signs that God is behind this movement is the way you are beginning to outgrow your current financial level without forcing anything. You feel it deep within your spirit that you are meant for more, not because you are ungrateful, not because you are greedy, and not because you want material validation, but because your inner growth now exceeds your outer environment. When the inside expands, the outside must expand with it. This is not ambition. This is alignment. Chosen one, when you experience inner expansion, life begins to shift around you. You may start noticing opportunities you previously overlooked. You may start recognizing talents you never fully acknowledged. You may feel a pull toward greater responsibility because you now have the maturity to handle it. You may find yourself wanting to move toward positions, roles, or environments that match the level of growth within you. These impulses are not random. They are spiritual guidance. And with this guidance comes another sign: discomfort. You may feel restless in your current workplace. You may feel unfulfilled even if everything looks fine. You may feel irritated by tasks that once felt easy. You may feel a strange disconnect from environments where you once blended in. This is because your spirit has shifted into your next chapter, even if your physical circumstances have not caught up yet. Discomfort is the signal that alignment is trying to pull you forward. Chosen one, God does not elevate you silently. Before something shifts externally, it shifts internally. Before a salary changes, your mindset changes. Before increase arrives, your identity strengthens. Before opportunity appears, your spirit prepares. You may think you are simply tired of certain things, but that tiredness is spiritual. It is the divine removing your attachment to a chapter that is ending. You may also experience situations where you feel like you are being pushed out of your comfort zone. Conversations about your performance may arise, new responsibilities may show up unexpectedly. People may begin to rely on you more. You may be given tasks that stretch you. These situations are not meant to overwhelm you. They are meant to prepare you for elevation. Chosen one, you must understand something deeply. Your salary is not just about money. It is about destiny. It is about positioning. It is about purpose. When God elevates your financial life, He is expanding your capacity to move through the world with stability, peace, and strength. Money affects almost every part of your life: your environment, your opportunities, your stress levels, your sense of security. Increasing your salary is not just a financial blessing, it is a spiritual strategy. This is why some of the greatest transformations in your life begin with shifts in income and work. Financial elevation aligns you with a higher frequency of peace, clarity, and possibility. It frees you from cycles that kept you focused on survival instead of growth. It gives you the power to make decisions from alignment rather than fear. Chosen one, another sign that God is behind your salary shift, is the timing. You may have been experiencing moments where opportunities appear unexpectedly. Someone mentions you in a positive way. A supervisor begins recognizing your efforts. An opening becomes available. A conversation happens at the right moment. Or perhaps you feel drawn to update your resume, apply for something new, or prepare for a transition without even knowing why. Timing is not accidental. It is orchestrated. You are stepping into a chapter where your work will be rewarded, Your effort will be compensated, and your value will be acknowledged. But more importantly, you are stepping into a chapter where you finally understand that you are worthy of more. Chosen one, you have carried too much for too long. You've accepted less while giving more. You've poured into environments that did not pour back into you. And now the divine is saying, enough. It is time for your life to reflect the strength you have gained, the wisdom you have earned, and the growth you have undergone. There is increase coming, there is elevation coming, there is adjustment coming, and you will feel it first in your spirit long before you see it in your bank account. That feeling you have, that inner pull toward more, is the sign. Chosen one, your salary is about to shift. Not because of luck, not because of chance, but because God is behind it. Chosen one, as you move deeper into this chapter of financial transformation, you may begin to notice subtle shifts in the way life interacts with you. Decisions that once felt confusing now feel clearer. Situations that once left you uncertain now feel easier to navigate. This is not just growth. This is divine positioning. When God is preparing to elevate your salary, your path, your financial stability, and your overall experience of security, He first aligns your inner world with the increase that is coming to your outer world. You cannot rise while thinking like someone who is still struggling. You cannot receive abundance while identifying with lack. You cannot hold more while fearing change. And so the divine begins by transforming your mindset long before transforming your paycheck. You may also notice that your tolerance for being undervalued is shrinking. This is a crucial sign. For a long time, you may have convinced yourself to settle because you needed stability, because you feared disappointment, or because you doubted that something better existed for you. But now, chosen one, settling feels suffocating. You feel the weight of staying somewhere that does not match your spirit. You sense the misalignment when your value is ignored. You feel the heaviness of environments that refuse to recognize your light. This discomfort is not a punishment. It is a spiritual indicator. It means your season of being overlooked is ending. Chosen one of the deepest signs that God is behind your salary increase is the sudden clarity you have about your worth. You are no longer begging for recognition. You are no longer hoping someone will notice your hard work. You are no longer seeking approval. Instead, you are standing in your value with a quiet confidence that others can feel. Your energy is shifting. And when your energy shifts, your external life follows. You may feel an inner push urging you to ask for what you deserve. Maybe the idea of requesting a raise no longer scares you. Perhaps the thought of applying for a higher position feels less intimidating. You may suddenly feel empowered to set a boundary, to speak up, to inquire about opportunities you once avoided. This rise in confidence is not accidental. It is heaven preparing your spirit to receive what belongs to you. A closed mouth does not get fed, but a confident spirit attracts the opportunities meant for it. Another sign of divine involvement is the pressure that builds right before elevation. This pressure can take many forms. You may feel restless. You may become frustrated with your current role. You may feel like your growth is being restricted. You may feel like something is squeezing you emotionally, mentally, or spiritually. But this pressure is a sign that the divine is preparing to push you into a new space. Pressure always comes before expansion. It is the spiritual equivalent of contractions, signs that something new is being born in your life. Chosen one, you may have noticed people around you treating you differently without you doing anything new. Supervisors may look at you with more respect. Co-workers may rely on you more. people may begin acknowledging your skills in ways they didn't before. You may receive compliments, recognition, or gratitude unexpectedly. This shift in perception is a sign that God is elevating you in the eyes of others. Before increase comes, the atmosphere around you adjusts to match your rising value. Another sign is the sudden appearance of challenges that seem specifically designed to test the very growth you've been working on. You may be tested in patience, responsibility, clarity, confidence, communication, or discipline. These tests are not meant to defeat you. They are meant to refine you. You are stepping into a chapter where your financial increase will require a stronger version of you. God does not elevate you into positions you are not ready to handle. Every test you're experiencing is connected to your preparation. Chosen one, you may also feel like your spirit is being pulled towards something new. A new field, a new company, a new role, a new environment. You may not have all the details, but you feel the pull. This pull is not anxiety. It is divine direction. Your spirit recognizes your next level before your mind understands it. You are being guided by something higher, something wiser, something intentional. The divine does not guide you towards something without preparing the way for it. Opportunities are being aligned. Conversations are being positioned. Hearts are being softened. Paths are being cleared. You may not see the full picture yet, but everything is being set into motion. What feels like uncertainty to you is divine coordination in the unseen realm. Another sign that God is behind your salary increase is the sudden collapse of old financial patterns. You may find that certain expenses naturally fall away. You may break old habits that used to drain your money. You may feel called to be more responsible, more intentional, more focused. This shift is happening because you cannot move into increase with old patterns of lack. Divine favor requires financial maturity, and your spirit is aligning with that maturity right now. Chosen one, you may also notice that your vision for your life is expanding. You are beginning to imagine things you once believed were impossible for you. You dream bigger. You think differently. Your desires have evolved. This expansion of vision is another sign of elevation. The divine does not give you higher vision without also preparing higher provision. The size of your dreams is increasing because the size of your destiny is becoming clearer. And then there are the signs in your environment. Unexpected opportunities, random messages, people mentioning positions, openings appearing. A conversation shifting your direction, a moment that feels like divine timing. These things do not happen randomly. When God moves, He moves through people, timing, and alignment. Your surroundings are beginning to reflect the future you're stepping into. Chosen one, perhaps the strongest sign of all, is the peace growing in your heart. Peace that does not match your circumstances. Peace that stays with you even when things are uncertain. Peace that whispers, something is coming. This peace is divine confirmation. Peace before increase is a spiritual signature that cannot be imitated. There is something shifting in the atmosphere around your life. Doors that were once locked are beginning to unlock. Blocked pathways are beginning to open. Delayed blessings are beginning to move. Your salary is not just improving. Your entire financial reality is preparing to transform. Chosen one, God is not adjusting one area of your life. He is repositioning your whole foundation. Chosen one, as you move further into this divine shift surrounding your income, something powerful begins to unfold within your inner world. You start to recognize that your financial elevation is directly tied to your personal evolution. You cannot receive what you are not aligned with. You cannot hold what you do not feel worthy of. You cannot sustain what your spirit has not grown into. And now, because your inner foundation has become stronger, clearer, and more aligned, the external increase that once felt distant is now preparing to enter your life with ease. You may notice yourself reflecting more on the past, not with regret, but with understanding. You begin to see how every position you held, every responsibility you carried, every difficult season you survived, taught you something that is now becoming essential. You begin to see how the jobs that frustrated you gave you discipline, how the environments that overlooked you gave you resilience, how the seasons of financial difficulty gave you strategy. You suddenly understand that nothing was wasted. Every experience was shaping you into someone who can handle the elevation that is coming. Chosen one, you may also begin to recognize how much you have grown in emotional maturity. You are no longer reacting impulsively to stress. You are thinking more clearly. You are making decisions based on wisdom, not fear. You are listening to your intuition. You are choosing peace over chaos. This emotional shift is not just about personal growth. It is directly connected to your financial future. Salary increases, promotions, and new opportunities often require emotional stability, maturity, and groundedness. And you are stepping into those qualities naturally, as if something higher has been guiding your development step by step. One of the clearest signs that God is behind this movement is the way you are beginning to separate your identity from your job. There was a time when you tied your worth to your position, your title, or your income. But now, your sense of self is rooted in something deeper. You understand that you are valuable regardless of where you work. You recognize that your identity is not determined by your salary, and because you no longer believe that your worth comes from external validation, you are becoming the type of person who naturally attracts environments that match your inner confidence. Chosen one, God elevates those who no longer look to others to define their value. When you begin to walk in your own identity, opportunities feel drawn to you. Doors open. Conversations shift. People in positions of authority begin to see what they previously overlooked. It is not that you suddenly became more skilled. It is that your self-belief unlocked a spiritual frequency that your atmosphere cannot ignore. And with this frequency comes something else: the ability to handle closed doors with grace. You no longer panic when something ends. You no longer fall apart when something is taken away. You no longer question your worth when someone rejects you. Instead, you feel a quiet knowing in your spirit that every closure is a sign of redirection. This is one of the strongest signs of divine involvement. When your spirit no longer fears loss, you are ready to receive greater gain. Chosen one, before God elevates your financial life, He elevates your emotional intelligence. Before He increases what is in your hands, He strengthens what is in your heart. Before He expands your opportunities, He makes sure you are not emotionally attached to the wrong things. You are being prepared, not punished. And this preparation is the reason your spirit feels different. You may also begin to notice that you are approaching your work with new eyes. You see things more clearly. You understand processes better. You recognize inefficiencies that others overlook. You anticipate problems before they arise. You find solutions faster. This is not just skill, it is spiritual insight. When you are being prepared for elevation, your mind becomes sharper. You begin operating on a higher level while still in your current position. This is a sign that you are outgrowing the environment you are in. Chosen one, you may also feel a rising desire for fairness. You want to be compensated correctly. You want to be recognized fairly. You want balance, stability, and respect. This desire is not selfish. It is spiritual. When God prepares someone for increase, He also awakens their awareness of what they truly deserve. Not in arrogance, but in alignment. You cannot ask for increase if you still believe you should settle. And so your spirit is releasing the last remnants of just accept what you get energy. Another sign that your salary increase is divinely supported is the way people begin coming to you for guidance, reassurance, and clarity. They trust your insight. They respect your perspective. They see you as reliable. This rise in trust from others is not random. It is a reflection of your growth. God elevates leaders by first positioning them as pillars within their current environment. Before you are given more, you are recognized as someone who can handle more. Chosen one, your presence is becoming more impactful. Your voice carries more weight. Your actions influence others. This is preparation for expansion. Leaders are not born in promotions. Leaders are noticed long before the promotion arrives, and people are beginning to notice something different about you. You may also feel your creativity returning, or even increasing. New ideas flow. Solutions come easily. You feel inspired. You feel directed. You feel capable. This creativity is not just imagination. It is spiritual download. Increase requires creativity, and you are receiving what you need before it is required. Chosen one, pay close attention to the way things begin falling into place. You may find unexpected clarity about what you want next. You may receive messages about opportunities at the perfect moment. You may hear information that helps you make a decision. You may meet someone who shifts your path. This is divine timing in action. Nothing is accidental. Everything is placement. You may even notice that your patience is increasing. You are not as easily frustrated. You are not rushing. You are not panicking. You feel a calm expectation. This calmness is not denial. It is spiritual confidence. This is what it feels like to walk into a blessing that has already been written for you. Chosen one, the divine is positioning you for a new financial chapter, one that matches your growth, your identity, and your purpose. Your salary is not just changing. Your life structure is changing with it. Chosen one, as you move even further into this season of divine alignment, you may begin to feel an undeniable shift in how you respond to limitations. Things that once intimidated you no longer hold power over your spirit. Situations that once triggered fear now awaken strategy. Conversations that once left you uncertain now feel like opportunities to stand in your truth. This transformation is not subtle. It's significant. It is one of the clearest signs that you are no longer operating from a place of scarcity. You are operating from a place of spiritual authority. There was a time when you worried that asking for more would seem ungrateful. A time when you believed it was safer to stay quiet than to assert your worth. A time when you convinced yourself that stability mattered more than expansion. But now, chosen one, you feel a new strength awakening inside you, a strength that refuses to settle. A strength that pushes you to advocate for yourself. A strength that insists you honor your value, even if others have not. This is divine boldness, and it is preparing you for new levels of provision. You may also begin noticing a shift in your reaction to unfairness. Before, you may have tolerated being overlooked or underpaid. You may have allowed others to minimize your contribution because you didn't want conflict. But now, something within you refuses to be silent in the face of imbalance. You feel an inner pull toward justice, not emotional reaction, but spiritual alignment. When God elevates you, He also activates a righteous intolerance for situations that do not reflect your destiny. Chosen one, this awakening does not mean you are becoming confrontational or aggressive. It means you are becoming aligned. When you outgrow an environment, your spirit begins to reject anything that contradicts your growth. That discomfort is the divine telling you, you are too big for where you are. It is the spiritual version of a plant outgrowing its pot. The roots need more room, more nourishment, more space. In the same way, your gifts, your strength, and your purpose are demanding more. Another powerful sign that God is behind your salary shift is the way your responsibilities no longer intimidate you. You are handling more with less stress. You are solving problems with more clarity. You are navigating challenges with more strategy. This increase in capacity is not accidental. It is preparation. Before increase enters your life, God expands your ability to handle it. He strengthens your emotional stability. He sharpens your discernment. He increases your patience. He builds your confidence. He prepares your spirit for the level you are rising into. Chosen one, pay attention to the skills you are developing now without consciously trying the ability to communicate better, the ability to think ahead, the ability to multitask, the ability to stay calm under pressure. These are not random improvements. They are divine upgrades. You are being shaped into someone who can hold the responsibilities and rewards of your next financial chapter. You may also notice that you are less attached to the approval of others. You no longer need validation to feel secure in your decisions. You no longer shrink when someone criticizes you. You no longer question your abilities because of someone else's insecurity. This emotional detachment is not arrogance, it is liberation. When God elevates you, He frees you from the fear of opinions. He removes the chains of comparison. He strengthens your identity so that your confidence does not depend on external applause. Chosen one, another sign of divine involvement, is the sudden exposure of hidden truths in your workplace or environment. You may begin to see people's intentions clearly. You may notice who respects you and who only pretends to. You may discover information that helps you make decisions. You may see opportunities opening in places you never expected. This clarity is supernatural. It is the unveiling that happens before elevation. When God is preparing to lift you, He reveals what you need to know and removes what you no longer need to tolerate. You may also feel a strong sense of separation, not isolation, but distinction. You are realizing that you do not operate like others. Your standards are higher. Your work ethic is different. Your vision is clearer. Your spirit is more grounded. This separation is not loneliness. It is identity. God separates those He elevates. He sets them apart so they are not influenced by the mediocrity around them. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to rise. Chosen one, divine elevation often begins with subtle signs that your environment can no longer contain your destiny. You feel mentally checked out of positions that no longer challenge you. You feel spiritually disconnected from tasks that no longer align with your purpose. You feel a gentle pressure pushing you outward, not in fear, but in readiness. This readiness is a spiritual indicator that your next level is near. And when that readiness rises within you, chosen one, it's the clearest sign that your spirit has already stepped into the future your body has yet to enter.